and this is grammar class. Okay, so kids, welcome to grammar class. I am so happy to get to you through this video again and starting another day of the week. Today is Tuesday, kids. So we're going to start grammar now. So get your book, please, your level 6 book, and on page 86. We are going to continue with Unit 7. Okay, we're going to continue with Unit 7, kids. And on this page here, okay, the one I have, this one here. Okay, you see this? Okay, this page, we're going to start with a reading. Okay, so vocabulary 2. Okay, on this one here. So, Louis investigates mystery in 68. Alright, so now, follow me, kids, with this reading, okay? Louis investigates mystery in 6B. It was Friday, all the week's classes were finished, and it was time to go home. Louis was walking toward the playground and thinking about soccer when a loud sound interrupted him. Someone was screaming in classroom 6B. He walked to the door and looked inside. There was Mary, then Clara, and at the front door of the room, their teacher, Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown asked Louis to come in and then said, "I went outside for 5 minutes, but when I came back, our class hamster had disappeared. I was so shocked that I screamed. Maybe you can help us figure out where it is." "Oh no," said Louis. "Well, let's ask everyone here what they were doing while Mrs. Brown was out of the classroom," Louis suggested. "I came here to give Mrs. Brown my homework," said Clara. "I only been here for a minute." Louis asked Clara where the homework was. "It's over there on the desk," said Clara. "Oh, thank you, Clara," said Mrs. Brown. Louis asked Clara why her hair was wet. "I just been to swimming club," Clara answered. "I came here after singing practice to find my pencil," whispered Maria. "I left my pencil here earlier today." Louis asked Maria why she was whispering. I left my pencil here early today." "So, why she was whispering?" Louis asked. "Because I have a sore throat," Mary replied. Then Louis asked Maria where her pencil was. "It's here in my pocket," said Maria. "And I came from the library. I borrowed this joke book and there was a really funny joke I wanted to tell Clara," said Dan. "Oh. What was the joke?" "What was the joke, Clara?" demanded Louis. Dan asked. "Me, what? 6 was afraid of 7, said Clara. Louis asked Dan if he could tell him the answer. "Because 7 ate 9. "Don't joke." "But is that important? We need to find the hamster," he complained. "Yes, it's important," Louis replied. "And I love jokes, but you don't need to worry about finding the hamster. I know who has it," he claimed. Okay, kids, did you like the story? It's interesting, right? Okay, so now, continuing with this on the same page 86. Okay, let's continue with number 1. if you didn't get the story very well, so you can read it again, alright? Number 1 on this part here, okay? So you can do it. And answer this question, kids. Why was 6 afraid of 7th? Okay, so you know this. You can get the answer from the reading. Okay, now let's do number 2. Match the definitions to the words involved in the story. Okay, so the words involved here match the definition. And here from 1 to 10, okay, because these are 10 words involved, so you have to match the definition with each one of them, okay? If you're not sure about this, okay, you can get and look for the words in an English-Spanish dictionary, okay? So then, after this, okay, let's do exercise number 3, which is a listening exercise, kids. Okay, so which I am going to put with this video, okay? Alright, let's do exercise number 3. Okay.
Student's Book, Unit 7, page 86. 3. Complete the notes using the information in the text. Listen to the end of the story. Did you guess who took the hamster?
Well, said Louise, Maria said that she was at singing practice, but she can't sing with a sore throat, so she must be lying. Mrs. Brown asked Maria if she'd taken the hamster. It's true, said Maria. I did it. I'm sorry I lied, and so sorry I took the hamster. I was worried about it being alone over the weekend. I thought it'd be so lonely. Oh, no, said Mrs. Brown. You're right that the hamster is alone over the weekends, but you shouldn't have taken it. I know. I'm sorry, said Maria. If your parents say it's okay, then you can take the hamster home to take care of next weekend, said Mrs. Brown. And thank you, Louise. Whenever there's a mystery, you're the one to solve it. Thanks, said Louise, but look at the time. I'd better hurry, or I'll be late for soccer.
Okay, kids, remember, in the class before, in the last grammar class we had before, we talked about and learned about reported speech. Okay, do you remember, kids? I said to you, okay, a reported speech is, for example, if I said, I love pizza. So, what did the teacher say? The teacher said that she loves pizza, alright? That is reported speech. Okay, so, but also, we use reported speech not only for informing something, not only for reporting something. Someone says something and we report it and repeat it. No, we also use reported speech to ask for information. Okay, so, examples. Now, on this part, here, everybody, okay, let's move to page 87 on your book. Okay, on this part here, which is the language practice 2. Okay, on this part, grammar look. Questions in reported speech. Okay, so now, let's see this. Grammar look. Questions in reported speech. Louis asked Clara, why is your hair wet? Louis asked Clara why her hair was wet. 2. Louis asked Dan, can you tell me the answer? Louis asked Dan if he could tell him the answer. Louis asked Maria, where is your pencil? Louis asked Maria where her pencil was. Okay, so now, here the possible uses for this. Number 1, in reported questions, the present tense verse usually changes to the future or past. Okay, so you had to circle the correct one. Okay, so in this case, because everything which is reporter, okay, is already said, we use past. Okay, number 2. The word order changes from stays the same as normal question? What do you think? Does he change it or does he stay the same? Okay? All right. So you have to circle the correct one. Number 3. We use or don't use question marks with reporter speech. Okay? So, number 4. When there is no question word, example, where, how, or who, use if or because. Okay, so you have to circle the correct one. Okay, kids, so after this, okay, now let's continue with, with the next exercise on page 87. All right, so number 1, what does Luis say about Bill not coming to soccer? Write reporter speech. Reporter questions. Okay, so there is a conversation here. Okay, kids, after this, now, everybody, let's move to page 88 on your book. So, now, literature. This part here, kids, okay, now, we are going to do another listening exercise. Number 1, do you read the news online? Do you? Okay, what kind of news story do you usually read? Alright, kids, now, you can read lots of stories and, you can get a lot of information, from internet, on Facebook, on the social network, everywhere. Twitter, Instagram. So all these social networks you can use and get information from. Also from Google. Okay, so now let's start and listen to this exercise. Listening exercise. Okay, so now follow the reading.
Student's Book, Unit 7, page 88. The Hours.
Profile of the Capitol's top cop. Name, Elizabeth Sanchez. Age, 42. Job, Director of the Online Crime Unit. She says, "We are doing everything we can to stop criminals on the Internet." They say Detective Sanchez is one of the country's most fabulous police officers. Marika Varga in the Capitol. Tuesday, October 3rd, 2017. Online criminal arrested. Yesterday afternoon, the police arrested a man at his home in the middle of town. The police claim that Robert McGinty, who is 20 years old and a computer science student at the local college, has been stealing people's identities on the Internet. This man has committed many crimes online, said Detective Elizabeth Sanchez, who spoke to reporters outside McGinty's home. But he won't be able to commit any more. When a reporter for Azure TV asked Detective Sanchez how her team had found McGinty, the police officer suggested that it was because of a 72-year-old woman named Sandra Preston. One July morning, 2 summers ago, people around the country found a picture on their computer. It was of a foot above a banana skin. Under the picture was a message, "Watch you don't slip." "I couldn't believe it," said Sajid Bashir, who was one of the first people it happened to. "My computer didn't work anymore. Then I went to the bank and they told me that $500 was missing from my account. Someone had stolen my personal information and used it to spend my money." "We didn't know who was doing it," said Detective Sanchez. "The person was too careful, too smart. Then we got a phone call. The call was from a woman named Sandra Preston, who complained to the police about the noise from the apartment next to hers and asked them to do something about it. "All I can hear is a horrible whir, whir, whir," she said. "It sounds just like my granddaughter's computer, but hers is much, much quieter. He must have 50 in there." Sandra claimed that her neighbor was a friendly man and suggested that she didn't want to get him into any trouble. "But I just can't read at night," she said. "It's too noisy." Detective Sanchez argued that anyone committing so many crimes online would need lots of computers. Could Sandra Preston's neighbor be the criminal? The detective asked a judge for permission to search McGinty's apartment, and, a few days later, she and her team found 36 computers. "It was a shock. They were in every room," she said. Robert McGinty has admitted stealing people's identities online, but has claimed that he was only trying to learn more about how computers work for his college course. "Mr. McGinty says that he's just a very hardworking student," Detective Sanchez joked, but that's not true. Meanwhile, Sandra Preston is still surprised by what happened. "I just can't believe it," she said. "I know what Robert did was wrong, but I thought he was quite a nice young man. He even made me a lovely banana cake for my birthday." Robert McGinty's life of online crime. 2012. Stole 250,000 email addresses and account details from the website of a bank. 2014. Used a virus to stop police computers from working. 2015. Stole people's identities and used them to get credit cards and spend money.
Okay, kids, what do you think about this story, right? About a criminal being arrested. Wow, it was really an interesting story, right? Okay, so after this, you're supposed to do a role play. You can do it with your family, okay? You can do it with your siblings, with your brothers, with your sisters. No problem. Okay, so now, after this, everybody goes to page 90, alright, on your book. So now, cross-curricular. Okay, this part. This is another reading, kids. Another listening exercise, okay? So now, read with me, and let's read this with me. And also listen to the track at the same time, okay?
Student's Book, Unit 7, page 90. 2. Listen and read the text. Check your ideas in Activity 1.
Fingerprints. What are fingerprints? Did you know that nobody has the same pattern of lines on their fingers and thumbs? They are already formed by the time we are born, and they never change. They leave marks on the things we hold or touch. This happens because our skin produces oil and salt on our fingers. This mixture leaves a print on the things we touch. How was fingerprinting invented? In 1892, a police officer in Argentina discovered a fingerprint at a crime scene. It was the first time fingerprints were used to find a criminal. In the same year, a British man named Francis Galton wrote a book that showed all the ways fingerprints can be identified. The way in which detectives identify fingerprints is still used today. How do the police use fingerprints today? The method for taking fingerprints has not changed very much either. But today, the police can use lasers to help them find hidden fingerprints. Modern technology has also made police work much easier. Today, millions of criminal fingerprints are kept on an international electronic system, and computer programs can match fingerprints very quickly and accurately. Did you know? Even identical twins have different fingerprints.
Okay, kids, what do you think about this story? Okay, wow, this is the storytelling class today. Okay, no problem. Alright, now kids, after this, let's take a short break. Okay?